Okay, good morning, folks. We're back.
Yep, here we are.
And it is morning. You know, we start at 7 o'clock here for you folks, so I hope you appreciate that. Okay, Gianna, what's in store for us today?
Well, you know, I've been doing for the last two, I've done some beginner stuff, really, so people can launch their new careers.
Right.
Well, today I'm going to do two paintings based on what we've learned. Yeah, they're just two little paintings.
That's
the first one is really, really simple.
Oh, that's what I like.
It is. It's really good. And so I'm going to work on that one. And then there's the second one is going to be like a little bit more exaggerated on the first one.
Exaggerated?
So, well, it's just a bit more of it.
Well, I'm curious to know what that's all about.
Okay, well, the first one is like really, really
well, don't tell us. We're going to be surprised.
Okay, you want to find out.
Okay, you ready to roll?
All right. Yeah, ready to roll.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay, what I'm going to do to start with, I'm going to wet the paper thoroughly, and then I'm going to turn it over. It makes it sit down well on the towel. So what I'm going to do is here. Actually, sometimes I even do this.
Oh yeah, you can't live with a squirt bottle.
Oh, you got to have a squirt bottle. So then I do this, and this is going to hold it down really, really well. This is, as you can see, it's going to be very wet.
Yep.
And then
you mean it's going to lay flat?
Yeah, and it will lay flat. Now sometimes I tape them down. This is just a little guy. What is this, an 8 by 10 or that's about?
No.
What's that?
8.5 by 11.
No, that's too small for that. Is that 80? That's not that big, is it? All right. So
where's your measuring tape? I hate being wrong.
Okay, just a minute. It's on the little pad there. Okay.
You keep going.
Okay, I'm going to keep going. Now what I'm doing, so this is really wet, but I'm going to kind of rub it in, I guess is what I want to say. I'm going to use 3 colors right at the moment, and it's raw sienna, burnt sienna.
You don't have a measuring tape around here?
No, but it's written on top of the pad there.
Oh!
Yeah, I know. It's rocket science. Okay, did you catch that? What is it?
8 by 10.
It's 8 by 10.
Oh, I hate being wrong.
Oh, well. Well, you're close, very, very close. You really, if you looked at it, I mean, mathematically. Okay, so I'm going to use raw sienna, which is over here. It's got a little bit of muck in it, but that's okay because I'm going to be using those colors anyway. It's a little bit, yeah, but I want that dirt.
It's great. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So let's just put these colors out. So I'm there, clean my brush off there.
Yeah.
Here's burnt sienna.
All right.
Don't go by that as being raw sienna. That's just got a little bit of, it's got a little bit of Prussian blue in it. And I want that actually, because that's going to work for me. And then the third color is Prussian blue. I'm not going to use as much of it. It's see those 3 colors?
Yeah.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Yes.
Love that. So this is an earthy picture of sky, reflections, trees, and that sort of thing. This is really, really, really simple to do. So if everybody's ready, let's go. All right. Now this is probably homogenized milk consistency.
Homogenized.
About that, yeah. So it's just, you see. And then what I do is I go all the way through here. And I'm putting, see, they're not quite joining. Then I do this. This is the burnt sienna. Now anybody can do this. This is such a simple little study, so it's lovely.
You can move your paper up a little higher.
Okay, there we are. Is that better?
Yeah.
Can you see that better?
Yeah, that's
all right.
good.
Now I need a little bit more, so I'm going to add a bit more here.
What kind of a thing is this?
Oh, wait till you see. Wait till you see.
I said I was curious.
Yeah, you need to be. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of the Prussian blue, and I'm going to see how I mix that in there. I'm mixing right on the paper. I'm going to have a little bit over here. We can't have it on one side, not the other.
What's that blob there?
What's that blob where?
There.
That one?
That one. There, that's better.
Okay, we fixed it, didn't we, folks?
Yeah.
And we can't have an upset.
This looks like Northern Lights.
Well, just about. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just take this up. Now we're going to up the ante. As far as I'm going to do a little headland just in here.
Okay.
You're going to see this. You're going to be so impressed. All right, now I'm going to go to whipping cream consistency, really.
Whipping cream?
Whipping cream, yep.
All right.
It probably isn't whipped, though.
It's just raw.
It's right out of the container. So see how thick they are compared to this. I really push this, I know I do. Okay, but I want it a little bit lighter to start with. So I'm going to go back into here, then right about here, about 1/3 of the way down.
A third of the way, yeah. That's
now you can see, do you see the wetness of the paper? This is important. There's a relationship that we set up. As soon as we wet that paper is saying, what are you going to do with me?
That's right.
All right, so.
I heard that.
Did you? So look how it's bleeding just a little.
Yeah.
Broken line's more interesting than straight ones, so I'm just going to straighten that, do that little business. Take a bit of that excess water off, because I pick it up as I go.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to throw a little of that in, but not everywhere.
Oh, this must be land.
Oh, you're good. You are definitely good at this.
Well, it's the right color.
Yes, it is.
And
but
it's going sideways.
It is. So back I go to, see, I'm using the same 3 colors.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go into my burnt sienna.
Like
this is going to be nice and dark. There it is. Now I'm just going to go a little bit like in here, because this is my dominant third.
Is this lake or saltwater?
Definitely saltwater. We're in the mountains.
Ah, that's the high tide mark.
High tide mark.
The muck.
Yes. Now, what I want to show folks, this is what I want people to do if they can, is mix on their paper. You do a little bit here, but if you look at my palette, often afterwards you can really distinguish the colors. They're not a great big mixed pool, not like Ivan does it.
You never watch me paint. You might have watched my videos.
Oh dear. All right, now the next job. I've got this lovely flat blush, and I'm going to go with my Prussian blue.
Yeah.
Here's this Prussian blue, but I'm going to do gamboge now.
Okay.
With it.
Let's make it
I
green.
put this in. Yeah, this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful green, but I don't want it too strong. I'm going to do a little bit of burnt sienna in it. So here we have it. Now, in this dominant third, I'm going to put a spruce tree. Okay. And this is how I, whoops. This is how I do it. No, sorry, I don't want to move stuff. So right here, this is about the third. So if I start doing this, I make this like razor mark going all the way up like that.
It's got to be the trunk. Or
the stem.
Stem?
That's not the right word, but I don't care.
What is it?
It's the trunk.
Well, the trunk is the bottom.
Isn't that all the way up?
I don't know.
I don't.
I gotta look that up.
We have to look that up. Now, this is what happens with a flat brush. I'm just going to throw a little bit of raw sand in there as well, because I want it quite thick. And I'm going to take, instead of, I've done this like a knife. Then I turn it like this. And then I tickle. I do. I thought, what word can I do? Tickle the paper.
That's right.
Like a feather. We are tickling it. And that's it. See? Isn't that clever? I'm humble, huh? Okay, but here we go. I'm going to do one small. I'm going to do 3 trees.
3.
And then this one is over here. And it's not going to be as tall. So I'll go up the water spout. And then...
Tickle it.
Tickle it.
Yeah.
Tickle, tickle.
You see, you don't have to draw, folks. Look at she just mucking around. But they look like trees.
They do look like trees. This one I'm just going to add a little bit here because the paper was still a bit on the wet side.
The only difference between you and painting trees and me, I go toot, 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 toot.
And I don't. This is a doot, doot, doot if I've ever heard one. All right, I'm just putting a little bit of a shadow in there.
Yeah. And
then over here is the third one. This is what I call it saying yes to it. This is saying yes to this.
Oh, how do you come up with that?
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, but it seems logical to me. So I'm just going to do, that's going to be, can't be as tall as that one. Has to be a little bit different. And so I'm going to take that little, see the corner of the brush?
Yeah.
Tickle, tickle. There we go. Now I want to integrate this a little bit more with what's going on underneath it, because that's what we do, isn't it?
Yes.
Now I'm going to
take
my brush, clean it off. Yeah, I've got to have that, but I just want to build this up a little bit more. Burnt sienna, the foreground, or the headland.
The land.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do this.
Oh yeah, you have to have dark under the trees.
Yes, you do, because that's what they do. You know, that's what.
They cut out the light.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about
now
the
fun begins.
Oh. You mean this wasn't fun?
No, this was preparing for fun. Now what's really, really neat, I'm going to do, these are going to reflect down here. This is still damp. The paper is damp, which is fine, which is what I want, which means I don't want to have a lot of liquid on my brush, or it's just going to explode everywhere. Yeah. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to flick.
Oh my!
I'm just going to flick, flick, flick. But that bottom edge is I've got to deal with that. Yeah. So this is how I do it.
You do different than I do.
Oh well. Take my brush, clean it up, take off the excess water, and then I just feather. Here we go.
Yeah,
feather. Just like that.
Don't
So
do
I got
one.
that bottom edge.
Gotta make sure you don't.
And then I do the knife thing again.
Gotta make sure you don't do the windshield washer.
No, you don't do.
Or windshield wiper.
Windshield wiper. I'm just going to extend this just a bit more. See, because it's going to reflect. It's a mirror reflection always.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that. Make sure when you put these lines through there, they're not even.
Yes.
You know, it's so boring. It's an awful thing. Artists are not good if they're bored. It's not true, Agnes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that has that. And I'm just to increase this a little bit. See those lines there?
Yes.
I'm going to put a little bit more green in between them.
Oh.
So it just gives a little more of the illusion of moving water.
Yeah.
But barely moving. This is very, very still. This is one of those when you're driving along
Calm.
Peggy's Cove Road like we do, and it's all still. This is the dark.
It's a calm morning this morning.
Oh, isn't it beautiful in the mornings here? We're so lucky to be Maritimers.
You folks that aren't from Nova Scotia, you don't know what you're missing.
It's very true.
Right?
Yeah, it's very true. Now, what do you think of that? Now, it's not finished yet.
Okay.
No, it's not finished yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rigger brush. This little rigger brush, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some saplings just in here to create. See this? This is a bit boring.
Yeah.
And we've got this space going on, so I want to have something in between here. I went in with my burnt sienna and the Prussian blue. I stayed pretty much with the same colors.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a little of that excess water. Can you see when I do that? I just do it just like that. And then what I do is I hold it's so light. I'm going to just do this.
All those old dead birches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I finish doing this,
I
don't stop dead, if you understand. I do this and then I flick it.
Yeah.
You know?
So
otherwise your branches get this.
And you know what? I found a lot of people want to start at the top and work down.
Yeah, it's not the way to do it.
No.
Yeah, I like it, but prefer it this way.
Yeah.
And there's just a little bit there.
Especially if you hold your brush for a split second at the top, then you get a big crow's nest at the top of the tree.
You do, don't you?
And crows don't build nests in those birch trees.
They don't, eh? Gosh, you're full of information this morning. All right.
They like to hide.
One more thing, I think what we need to do is this. I don't think this is going to see those edges like that.
Yeah.
They're designed to scratch, but this I don't think it's going to work. So I'm going to use my fingernail.
Well, wow, that's a new one.
Oh, haven't you?
Not fingernail, not mine.
Yeah.
They'd be pretty fat.
Yeah, well, I'm just putting those in there.
I like
and why I'm doing that is because this becomes very saturated. If it just makes it a little bit more interesting if there's a little something going through here. Fingernails are great. If you don't have fingernails, you can use
this. A palette knife.
Yes, you can do that as well. I don't have a palette knife with me, so I do have my fingernails with me. I just happen to have them on, you know. All right, one more thing, just a little bit, just down in here. We're going to emphasize this a little bit stronger. Here I go in with some Prussian blue and some raw sienna. This is going to be really, really, really nice and dark. We're right in here. Can you see what I'm doing? See this in here?
Yeah.
This is going to be darker. And I'm just pulling out those light things there. Oh dear. If anybody wants to do this, and do this little exercise and then send me a picture.
Yeah.
I'd love it if you did that, you guys.
There's nothing like seeing the results.
Oh, I know. And if it's not successful, that's okay. Actually, I have this little saying for people. You really don't have to be good at it, but you do have to love it.
Yeah.
You know, it's really, I think it's the most wonderful thing. It's a great, great friend.
And they don't need to get discouraged because even if the painting doesn't turn out the way it was supposed to in your mind, it's all a learning process.
Oh, yeah.
And then you know what doesn't work.
Well, that's what I say to people. You know, there is no goal. There's always process. Okay. There's no goal. And because if I don't have one, and I mean, I've been painting for quite a long time, actually.
Have you?
Oh, yes.
20 years or so?
30, 40. You know, whatever it's going. I've been teaching for quite a long time as well. All right, now that's the first one. So that's what you want to do with this one.
Okay.
And I will sign these later. But I'm going to do the second painting now. based on this somewhat, the same kind of method that I'm going to do, except over in this corner, I'm going to do a little bit of more, the paper will be drier. And so it's going to be, there's going to be much more of a loaded brush rather than the wet into wet.
All right.
It's partly wet into wet and partly in the dry area. So are you ready for number 2?
So we'll just continue on. Oh, this is going to be 2 demonstrations in one video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, you ready for that?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Where's your paper?
Okay. Well, oh, wait a second. It's right here.
Okay. Well,
Right.
I'm glad to see you're prepared.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got it all prepared. So what I'm going to do, this right-hand corner. Whoops.
Look at there. Uh-oh.
This right-hand corner, I'm going to do the same
Does it
thing.
matter which side of this paper you paint on?
Not really. No, this is the Fabriano 140 pound, and it's a student. What do you call it? Student
Quality?
yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't know. I don't
It's
use
early
that
in the
stuff.
morning, you know. I mean, you don't start I don't start thinking till maybe 9.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to wet that. That side is wet.
I wouldn't use that paper, but you know, I can't paint it like you can.
There you go. Okay, so this is the side.
I hate to admit it, but that must mean that you're better.
Do you think? Well, maybe a little bit more experience, that's all. You're just a puppy compared to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
In what way?
Well, you're younger. I mean,
Not much.
okay. All right, here we go. This is going to be, I'm just going to do trees at the top here.
Okay.
Right at this corner. So I'm going to take Prussian blue,
Yeah.
gamboge, and the other two. Like the palette is pretty much the same. It'll come out a little differently, but you'll see it. So here's the gamboge. This is what I call the dirty gamboge because I always use this one for greens. Then I have another one up there that I could use for everything else.
Well, what's the difference?
What?
The same color?
The same color what, lovey?
Well, you said you have this gamboge and that gamboge.
Well, I have 2 gamboges. No, 2 just the same color. But I put them out because I
Why?
want one. Because I don't want to clean this one off every time I want to use it for oranges. So yeah, this one is just strictly for greens or for mixing.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one I keep pure.
Well, I learned. I never.
Oh, don't you? No, okay, here we go. Look what's going to happen.
Okay.
Look at this.
Oh, that's nice
Oh,
green.
I know.
That's the best green you ever did.
Isn't that the most gorgeous green? These two really do. So I'm going to make this is going to be the top third of the painting. Now this is all the kind of one green. So I'm going to just put a bit more Prussian, a little bit of the raw sienna, and then I'm going to darken a little bit. So I'm going to work that in.
Yeah.
I want this all over here.
I bet those are trees.
Do you think? What am I going to do with this man, guys? Really? Okay, so we're going right over to about here.
Right.
And then I'm going to do what I did before.
Is this an island?
It's a headland.
Oh, whose is it? Is it Indian Point?
It's in me head, lovey. It's in me head, this one. Yeah.
It's Patty's head.
This is, yeah. All right, so here we have the green trees.
Yeah.
There's that corner again,
Yeah.
see? But I'm pulling the trees out of this green mass.
Mm-hmm.
Just in here, this is good.
Yeah.
We'll take it over just a little bit further. Take my brush cleaned off, take off the excess water.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, we don't like those edges, but I'm just going to make those a little bit softer into the mist. Then I'm going to take my raw sienna here.
You just have one raw sienna?
I only have one raw sienna because I really don't make a terrible mess of that one. All right, now just down in here. I'm going to a corner of the brush, go up there and get a little bit of that wet area. Leave a little white.
Yeah.
That's always kind of wise.
Yeah.
I'm taking that headland all the way over to there.
Okay.
Because then you see that's 1/3, just about another third. I think in thirds. All right, now I'm going to take a bit of the Prussian blue. I've got fresh Prussian blue out here, and it's a little hard to handle. I'm going to darken here.
Oh, you didn't let it harden.
Well, I run out of it, so I put it in there.
When?
Yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't know the day before you were running out?
No. I probably could have figured it out. Alrighty. Now, is this still wet? I think I'm going to re-wet this a bit. Because we're talking so much.
I'm surprised you don't have 2 jars of water.
Are you surprised?
I do. I have one for clean and one for cleaning my brush. Yeah.
I just clean.
I know.
I know.
I
Okay.
know. That's what surprises me.
It does. I know. I love to surprise people. I just love surprising you, especially Ivan. All right. So here we go. We're going to flick our Bic again.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Do you remember that one?
Flick the
Bic?
Yes, yes.
Silly
Bic
one,
pen.
No, it was a lighter.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a lighter. You don't.
That's
flick
right.
Pens. You don't flick pens, Ivan. All right, so back we go.
That's another thing I learned. Yes, how did I ever forget that?
Yeah. All righty.
Okay.
Now, there. I'm just going to soften that edge just at the bottom so it doesn't look like it's, it's stuck there.
I know.
So this is, see, we've kind of got this arrow pointing in here.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. My brush is clean. Then I'm just going to do this.
Oh, yes.
Just wipe it off.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Now this is the underpainting for this. There's going to be more happening here in a second. Put a little bit of water in there. So this is still quite light. So I'm going to go in now with my round brush. This is my number 8 round brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just darken just underneath here.
Oh, the shadows from the trees.
I love the shadows.
Yeah.
Love them.
I went through a period where my paintings were dark.
What was it? Your dark period? Was that the dark period for you, Ivan?
Well, I never figured it out. Well, yes, I do. You wouldn't want to hear it. But anyway.
Yeah.
I said, you're missing the point. The darker the painting, the brighter the lights. When do you see the stars? You don't see them in the daytime. They're still there, but you got to go out in the night when it's darker. And the darker it is, the more you see the stars.
Are we talking David again?
Again?
You know what? People have been asking me this. Who's this David guy?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought everybody knew him. Anybody that was any painter here in the Maritimes.
Did I tell you about one of the first times I met him?
Did he scare you to death?
Well, I went in to take somebody's paintings in to have them critiqued.
Oh.
And there was this lady in there, and she had these orange mats and these green mats, and they were ugly as sin. And she was trying to use them to frame stuff. And Dave was you couldn't do anything with them. The best thing to do with those is start a fire. And he was getting impatient, and she was getting more impatient with him. And she looks at the clock. It was quarter after 3, and she says, well, I have to get out of here, because parking at 4 o'clock on Quimple Road.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And of course, that was 45 minutes yet. She said, I have to get out of here. It's soon about the party. Dad, take your stuff and get out of here.
Didn't he say that? Great businessman was David. Isn't that funny? Oh, dear. That's funny. Yeah.
I thought he was hard as nails, but he was a big pussycat underneath.
Really, he was.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a bit monochromatic, even in my painting.
I like that. That's coming along nicely now.
Isn't that nice?
What's that word mean?
What, monochromatic? It's all kind of like similar, self-similar. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't do well in school, you know.
Yes, you so did. Don't believe him.
I know.
All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing here.
Oh,
with
the fingernail.
Here comes the old fingernail. Now, when you do this, the painting can't be terribly wet.
Why not?
Well, if the damp, because otherwise you'll make this little rivulet. You will anyway, but you'll make this little rivulet.
A what?
A rivulet. A rivulet.
What is that?
Well, that's a little river with a let. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go right up here with my fingernail.
I know.
And look at that. And then I'm going to do that.
Now, what if it's too wet?
If it's too wet, what happens is the pigment will go into that rivulet.
Yes.
You see.
So what's wrong with that?
Well, sometimes that works, but in this case, I don't want it to do that.
What happens if it goes in?
It'll go dark.
Yeah, that's what I wanted you to say.
All right, then. Sometimes it's very hard to concentrate and talk
Especially
to you at the
with
same time. Yeah. So you can see how that really works quite well.
Yeah.
And then it's going to come down here. I use my thumb for that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to overdo it, because otherwise it becomes redundant. Do you like that word?
That I understand.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Good for you. Can't stand redundancy.
I might have told you about going over to Dave's. He invited me over to his studio. But, so what? I repeat my stories a few times. He says, come over and look at my paintings. So one day I went over. And I walked in and there's bottles and bottles of brushes. I was stunned. Look at all the brushes. What do you do with all the brushes? Never mind the brushes. You can't learn anything from the brushes. Look at the paintings.
Because he painted forever, that guy.
Oh.
He did. Now there's a little separation in here because this is a reflection of that as well. So I'm going to take a little bit of a dark, kind of a no-name color. No-name colors to me are anything that you pick up on your palette that's kind of left over. Just if you mix anything, you're going to get a no-name.
In other words, it's almost like mud.
It almost is, and you need mud. As I say, it grows potatoes. You know, that's my famous saying. Okay, that part is done.
All right.
Okay, so that's what we've done for this. This is pretty good, I think.
Right.
Now, what I'm going to do over here is a little bit differently, done a little bit differently.
Okay.
I'm going to keep with this brush, but I'm going to take these colors in here, and I'm going to do some kind of rocks and grasses, and then I'm going to have branches and things like that coming out from it. So, but you can see the color palette is the same, and the method, this method right here is the same. But right in here, this is just slightly different. So here we are with raw sienna.
The clean one.
Yeah, this is the.
No, it's the gamboge.
You know, the gamboge. You know, that's raw sienna is raw sienna that does that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put a little bit of that over there, so I can use that when I want to. And I don't. They
don't know what that color.
Oh, sorry, that's Prussian blue. Yeah, yeah. Now my brush. This is about what? About 3/4 of an inch.
Long?
So that's good.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to, it's quite loaded, and I'm just going to go right in here, and you can see, I hope you can see this.
Oh yeah, we can see that.
Okay. So I'm fusing these colors together.
Must be land.
It is rocky land.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm just doing this diagonal. Diagonal is a very strong line in composition.
And you're mixing different colors.
I am. Those 3 colors, I'm juggling them. Look at that.
Look at that.
See that?
Yeah.
2, 2, 2, 2. And then this is going to come down to about there.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do, just going to soften a few edges. And I'm going to continue this until I get what I want. So there's a little bit darker.
How do you know when to stop?
Oh, that's a good question. So many people ask me that. How do you know when to stop? It really is a feeling.
I know.
You know, I mean, I'm painting it sometimes when it's really fast, but it's turned out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, gee, it shouldn't be that fast.
I know.
You know, but it works.
Yes,
and you think,
it does.
no,
stop.
I know, and you do that, but you stop when you feel that it's just right.
Yeah.
Now I'm just going to put a few more in here. I'm thinking rocks. I'm not thinking trees now. Because
Okay.
thought is very important to the painting process.
Yes, if you weren't thinking rocks, your rocks would look like trees.
Well, that's that's about it, you know. It's true. So I'm doing this rock feeling, if you like. And so the brush strokes are probably a little bit more chiseled. Now back I go to my Prussian blue. Up in here. So I'm just juggling these 3 colors. And then just going around, doing a few little indentations, if you like. And the paint. A lot of this stuff is done when it's dry because you have to do some hard, soft edges. But for now, this is what we're doing. It's rock and there's stuff going on here. And you'll see what I mean. While this is wet, I want folks to know this. I'm just going to put a little bit green in here.
That's the
moss. And I'll tell you why. Yeah, this is kind of the moss. But what you can do, remember that rigger brush? You can use the rigger brush, or you can just use this one because it's got a nice point on it.
How'd that handle get all bent?
Hmm?
On that rigger. Look at it. No, they can't see. You got to move it. Look at the handle. How's it all bent?
That's my favorite one.
Is it made that way?
No. I don't know what happened to it. Probably got caught in the stove or something. Anyway, so look what I'm going to do now. Is going to flick. Instead of flicking this way, I'm going to flick now.
Yes.
See?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. You don't even add paint.
No, I'm just pulling that out.
That's grass.
Isn't he good? So, and he says he's not
uneducated. I didn't say I was uneducated. I said I didn't do well in school.
I think a lot of people can complain that. There's a few little grasses going on here, right there. Okay, so that's working. Now, are you ready for this, folks? Now we get back to our earth colors, raw sienna and burnt sienna, a little bit of the blue. So it's kind of this kind of greeny, icky, grainy, gray color. that, a little of this. Okay. Now, right on the very end of it, I'm starting at the bottom here, and I'm going to have some branches coming out from here.
What kind of trees are these?
Well, these are just like shrubs.
Oh.
Now, I'm pressing that into the...
I guess you are. Otherwise, it'd be a thick shrub.
It is, yeah, but I'm starting down here. As I come up, I'm coming lighter.
Well, that looks like a birch tree. Look, you got the lights.
Well, I know. This is what trees... They kind of struggle to be born, too, you know. They just don't just happen.
Don't they?
No, no.
Oh, yeah, that's
See,
nifty.
there we are.
That's
And
really...
then very, very lightly. And I'm going to have to do it just maybe a little bit more.
I really like that hesitation of the brush.
Do you like that hesitation of the brush?
Yeah, that's new to me.
That's called the hesitation of the brush stroke.
You just made that up.
Yeah, that's good though. Oh, look what you made me do. All right, so there we got a few more going in here.
If you did that in red, you could make a coral snake.
Oh, you could, you know. But this isn't finished yet.
Okay.
So now I'm going to take the green, Prussian gamboge.
You must be going to put some leaves on it.
You're right. Now, this is the other thing that you can do with this. All you have to do, really, is just...
Oh, look at that.
Make these little strokes in here.
Yeah.
Next
so you
time,
have to know nature to do the right tree.
Well, don't you?
Because some have leaves, some has needles.
That's true.
You got to know which one or which one is which.
And these are just these little branches coming through.
Yeah.
And this is the foliage that's coming out from it.
I'm surprised you didn't put any blue in there for water.
Yeah, me too. But you know what? This is way
I know, but that's not me. I never do that.
Don't you?
No, I never leave pure white like that.
Oh, I love white.
I know.
I do. I love just leaving the white. Now I'm going to go a little bit darker under here. This is fresh paint, so it's very thick.
That's for
Just
the
underneath
shadows.
here. This is for the shadows.
By the way, folks, we really appreciate your comments on our...
Oh, boy, do we ever. I look for them.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Thank you for them.
Yeah.
I'm so appreciative of those. So there you have it.
And I never knew anybody would fall in love with us.
Oh, I know. Isn't it lovely? I was so flattered. Really, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not kidding you. I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is really, really great fun. Okay, now those are the two little studies
All right.
that you can practice this week. Now, if you want to, you can do what Iwan would like. You could put some blue in here. The reason why I didn't do it, you've got enough to worry about right at the moment. I want you to get this stuff.
Yeah.
When I teach my classes, I'm usually after one or two things, not everything. I'm usually saying it's about edges or it's about the da-da-da-da, you know, and so it's about how wet it should be or something. I'm not after it all, but I always do it in the context of doing a painting. And so, like, if we wanted to do blue, then I have to concentrate on that. So I really do apologize if you really wanted it blue, right? And I could put that in.
Well, one of my hard things is keep my mouth shut.
Don't you dare keep your mouth shut. You're fine. Anyhow, so you get a little idea about this. These are exercises.
Yes.
As I say, I make this little thing. It's probably not going to end up in the National Gallery in Ottawa, unless, of course, or in the Louvre.
Yes.
It might go in the Louvre. No. All right, my dear friends. Next week, I'm probably going to do something just a little bit more complicated, but I do welcome your comments. I'm hoping you subscribe to our channel.
Oh, by all means.
You know, because it's so important to us.
It is.
And anyway, we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All the best, and thank you.
All right.
God bless everybody.
You
Bye-bye.
too, yes.